All right, today we are on number 5. We're going to write a quadratic equation given the roots. So let's go ahead and get started on some notes. So given roots, keep in mind we call them other things too, like a solution or a 0 or x-intercepts to a quadratic equation, we can write the equation as a product of factors. So then we'll use the distributive property. The distributive property. All right, cool. So all that means is we've got this handy-dandy formula here that's going to kind of show us how to set up these factors in order to solve for our quadratic equation. So if we look at this first one, we know that we're going to have, x something and x something. Okay, we have our roots given, but what I want you guys to see is when you put that into factors, you need to change the sign. Okay, so this -2 we're going to write as a +2. And that +3 we're going to write as a -3. Okay, it switches the sign, because keep in mind when you're solving these factors and you're finding your set of solutions that you're pretty much flipping the sign of what's given unless there's a coefficient in front of x. So you have to do that same thing when moving backwards as well. So the next thing we have to do to find the quadratic equation is do the distributive property, where you multiply the first two. So that gets us x squared. Then you take the last, so x and -3, which is -3x. You've got 2 and x, which is +2x. And you've got 2 and 3, which is -6. Well, we're not done yet because we still have to combine our like terms. So we have x squared, -3 plus 2 gives us a -x. And then we've got -6, and all of that equals 0. So that is our quadratic equation. Okay, that's all I'm asking for. It's when you guys have the roots that you can find out what that equation is. And keep in mind, you could factor that 2 to check your answer. All right, number 2, let's do that same thing. So we have x something and x something. We see that both of the roots are a +4. So when we put them in the factors, we have to change those signs. So we'll have x -4, x -4. Well, our next step is to do a little distributive property. So we take our first, x times x gives us our x squared. And we've got our x times -4, that's a -4x. Oh, again, we've got a -4 times x, there's another -4x. And then we got -4 times -4. Well, a negative times a negative gets us a positive, and 4 times 4 is 16. So, are we done, you ask? No, we are not done. We still have to combine our like terms. Yes! So we've got x squared. -4 minus 4 gives us a -8x. And then plus 16. So there's your answer. Keep in mind that equals 0. All right. Let's go to the next one. 3 and 4. So once again, we're going to have that break off into x something and x something. Remember, we have to switch those signs. So that -1 is going to change to a +1. And that +1 is going to change to a -1. Your next step, distribute. So you've got x squared minus 1x plus 1x. And then 1 times -1 gives you -1. Now we got to combine our like terms, so that's just our x's in the middle. So we've got x squared. Well, -1 plus 1 gives you 0, so these cancel out altogether, and we're left with -1. So we have x squared minus 1 equals 0. All right, let's go ahead and do number 4. So remember, we've got our x something and our x something. Well, as you know, it's those roots. It's these two numbers given. But we got to change those signs. Don't forget to change them. So we got plus 6, plus 6. Now we got to use our distributive property. Just makes it more fun when you sing it. So you got x squared. And then you've got plus 6x. Oh snap, we have plus 6x again. And then we've got 6 times 6. Oh crazy, get you 36. Next thing we're doing is combining our like terms. That's our 6x's. There we go. So we got x squared plus 12x plus 36. And all that jazz equals 0. Alright, so hopefully you guys are getting the hang of this. This isn't that tricky. It's just making sure you change that sign. Okay, so make sure you got to change that sign. So make sure you change the sign. Yeah, don't forget. Okay, cool. Alright, cool. I think we got that covered. So we got 2 more examples. We've got 5 and 6. Well, what I want you guys to do is do them by yourself. So pause this video and then check them when you are finished. Alright, so this is what you should have gotten for 5 and 6. So remember, you have your x something, you plug in -7, because you got to change that sign. And then you got to put x plus 1. Well, next thing you do is use that distributive property. So you get x squared plus 1x minus 7x minus 7. Then you got to combine your like terms to get you your -6x in the middle. So for number 6, you're doing that same thing. You got to plug in x minus 10 and x plus 12 because you got to change that sign. All right. So next thing we do is the distributive property. Multiply. Get it all out. We got to combine our like terms. So you combine the 12x and the 10x. And then that last thing is just set it equal to 0. And I hope you got these right. Let me know if you did or if you didn't. And if you didn't, let me know because we can see what you got incorrect. All right. Go ahead and go back to that front page of that booklet and go ahead and check off your writing the equation given the roots, because you guys did it. You're doing a fantastic job. Keep on going. We're almost to the end of the year. #summer. Okay, bye.